All right, guys. Hope everybody enjoyed their day. I had a good day, although the last hour and a half has been not good. My stomach started hurting about, I don't know, like I said, about an hour and a half after we eat, or like right after we ate or whatever. And it didn't stop hurting until 20 minutes ago. I came really close to canceling this, just so you know. But anyway, I'm gonna wait for a second, see who gets on here. I was just listening. I was listening to Glenn Beck. I forgot how funny he is. He is so insulting to Kamala. It's great. So today I'm gonna tie up a bow to that kind of story of my life. I didn't go into all the details yesterday, but there's a point to be telling this stuff to people. You know what I mean? So, okay. So I hope everybody was able to relax this weekend. What's up, Denise? Hope everybody would. I know you had fun, Denise. I think Anna had fun too. She had her sisters over yesterday. It was pretty cool. Her sisters and her mom and Rebecca. Excuse me, I can't remember the lady's name. The lady that's living with them now. They all watched yesterday, but let's give it a few more minutes. See if Anna doesn't get on here. Okay, so I guess we can. What's up, dude? I love how Lori's like, dude, like, whoa. I had a wonderful conversation with Amanda, Sophia's daughter, yesterday after I got off here. I won't tell Amanda's business, but she did have one piece of information that's really good news. And I'll tell it after I get started here. Hey, what's up, Anna? Some really good news. And I think y'all are really like this. Laura, I told Lori, but hey, Lori, don't say nothing until in a minute. I guess the people that are going to be on here are on here. Duan is at work, of course. So I guess I'll just start. All right. Hi, my name is Daryl Phillips, owner of New Orleans Apology Gaming, and what we do here is listening to talk. Today, I'm going to put a bow tie on the conversation from yesterday. But before I do that, I have some really wonderful news for everybody. Hey, how you doing, Megan? So, I was talking to Sophia's daughter. We were all talking and joking around, and Amanda's worse than Sophia. Like, she's as smart as me, and she has the dirtiest effing mind you've ever heard. She will shock you with her words. It's funny as hell, especially when she does it to Sophia. It's great. I love it when she does it to her mother. It's freaking funny. But Amanda had wonderful news. She had some some difficult news. I'm not going to say on here, but this one I am. But she had some positive news, some really wonderful news that just happened in the last month. Up until last month, they did not know what the cause of lupus was. Okay? They had no idea. Well, you can't find a cure if you don't know where it starts. They think within the next 5 years, they might have a cure for lupus. Oh, what wonderful news. What wonderful news for Sophia. What wonderful news for Amanda. Praise God. Praise God. Like, really, really. What an amazing thing to hear. And, Amanda is going to be 30, and I'm not going to let her hear the end of it. I reminded Amanda last night, I said, revenge sucks. It's going to suck for you this year, because Amanda will be 30 in a few weeks, 11th, I do believe. And I told Amanda, I said, I'm going to make a video for you, Amanda, because when I was 30, Amanda called me fat, and she called me all this different stuff, which I was, but Amanda was mean to me, talking about old and stuff like that. And I said, Amanda, you're going to be 30. I never forgot anything you said. Yeah, I know, right, Anna? Isn't that wonderful news? But so I'm going to make Amanda a video. Yeah, Anna. They finally found where it starts. Now, there's not a cure yet, but they're going to, 5 years, they say. What wonderful news. What wonderful news. So anyway, Amanda is, y'all would love Amanda. Y'all ladies would all adopt Amanda as your own daughter. Y'all had to fight over Sophia, but Amanda's one of those personalities. It's so funny, and on top of it, she's lost a lot of weight too. So, but she's got a fairly difficult time coming up, some personal stuff, and me and Sophia and Amanda's counselor and Sophia's sister are all going to help Amanda through this. I'm going to talk to Amanda and see if she can't start going to church again. She is busy. She truly is busy now. But I think Amanda's going to need some spiritual counseling too on top of it. That's just my view of that. But anyway, yeah, so I just wanted to tell you guys that to start out with, that there's sometimes in life you get news like that. It makes it all worthwhile. Because, Amanda is really mature. And she is where Daryl is. I know, right? Just going to turn 30, and she's already where Daryl is when it comes to death. And she's basically going to live her life to the fullest. And if God decides to take her, God decides to take her. She's not going to hold back. And I said, I'm so proud of her, man. See, y'all, that stuff like that drives me so hard. Because Amanda's proud of me, too. Amanda was there in the beginning. She's seen my drunken episodes. They weren't good. And but Amanda, in fact, it was Amanda, when I got out of jail, it was effing cold. Oh my God. There was snow snow and cold and stuff like that doesn't normally hit till January and February, whatever. But that year it hit really early. And so like early December is when I got out. And it was effing cold. And it got colder and colder and colder all day until when they released me, I was 12 o'clock in the morning. And it was effing cold. And it fresh snow, 1.5 feet. It snowed 1.5 feet. And it was awful. But I met her down. When I got down to downtown Minneapolis, Sophia had wired me the money to come back home, and Amanda. I call Amanda up, and I'm waiting for Sophia to wire this money. I said, "Hey, Amanda, would you mind meeting me down here, and maybe we meet and have lunch or something?" I mean, I was up there, right? Amanda said, I'm already putting on my shoes, Daryl. I'm gonna pick you up. So we spent the day together. It was really cool, just me and her. And by the way, just want to tell you, as much as I give Texas drivers crap about how they drive, never get in the car with Amanda. Just saying. Ask Dwan about that. In 2013, a year later, Amanda actually got to meet Dwan, and up there, and Dwan needed to be driven back to the homeless shelter. And Amanda is so funny. She is so entertaining. And she has no filter. That's why we love her. But Dwan was in shock because Amanda was what? 19 at the time? Or something like that. Yeah, 19 or something like that. And Amanda's driving her car going, move, bitch, get out the way, bitch, get out the way. And I'm like, oh my God. And Dwan's like, looks at me and goes, I was like, yep, that's Amanda. She don't give a shit. He does not care. She do not care. I'm like, oh Lord. But anyway, that was fun. But I want to put a bow tie on yesterday. Okay. I rewatched my life from yesterday. I really wasn't done. We got so late last night. I really wasn't done, and Anna and her family had to sleep anyway. So, but where I stopped in that story is basically where everything begins, and it's important. Like I said, I'm not telling these stories just to talk or whatever. Okay. So, in 2020, all right, Dwan started living here. All right. And my bank account had been locked for 4 months because of that scammer. So poor Sophia had to support 2 grown men. And it caused great tension. And but Dwan and I sat out here every day. I sat out the patio, not this one, but the patio that we came from. And we started to discuss how to move forward. The line had been drawn. I had to figure out something. Then. So we started working out the ingredients and steps. I already had an idea of what I was going to do as far as the ingredients and steps, but we needed to write it down. And it was the first time I had ever written down anything regarding the ingredients and steps that I had set in stone, as it were. So that was the basic basis upon us starting this business. Then we had to decide on a name. We had to decide on how we wanted to, what exactly were we doing. We definitely were going to start with the YouTube channel. It's the best way for us to start and to get the message out there first. Because it's not like we have any money for building or something. So we did that. And keep in mind that at this point, Sophia didn't believe in jack crap of what I was doing. She was angry, rightfully so. So anyway, I finally got my bank account unlocked, and I got the first version of our website. It was through a different company. Okay. By the way, if you guys ever want to start a website, a good company to go through first before you go into Wix and all that is WebStarts. It's a really good company. They give you some perks and things like that to get your website up, and it's a really good, easily designed website for yourself as a starter, as a newbie. All right, so that's what I started, because that's the company I had gone through from before. All right, so we had to plan our first idea for our first video. And by the way, this is still planned to this day. Now, keep in mind that at the time, I didn't have multiple cameras. I didn't have all of these different things. Okay, I have two phones that can work as cameras. I have my webcam there. In fact, I could show you guys if you guys want to see. Boop. There we go. So I can use this once I get used to it to switch camera views. Okay. Now, but I didn't have that. I also have my other camera there. So like for videos. Thank you. So I have my other camera for other views that if I would like to use that. I'm not talking about for the inside. Now clearly, I still am trying out. Yeah, I know you because I don't have an audio hooked up. 1 second. Yeah, I know. Better? Okay. Because I didn't have it hooked up. I don't use that camera really. Okay? So I don't really use it like that. Okay? But if I want to, I can though. You see what I'm saying? And OBS is one of those tools that's invaluable. It is made for, like right now I'm recording this live right here. At the same time as I'm doing this stream, so that I can use this. If I say something inspirational, I can use it for later on for a video. It's like even right now I am multitasking. Yes, I am on streaming with you guys, yet I'm doing this. These are all of the things that I had to start figuring out back in 2020. Okay, so I started looking up all the videos on all of these different things. And I realized at some point there that I was going to have to put graphics. Now remember, my first videos, if you go back and you look at the first videos, by the way, ironically, the first videos that I ever did were about the ingredients. They're a far cry from what they are now, for what my videos are now. There was no cutting and editing. I didn't have any music. There was no words up there. Okay, outside of my name. So yeah, it's a far cry from now. And I had to do studying and research. And Dwan is not, again, I don't want to paint Dwan as stupid because he's not stupid. He cannot read and cognitively understand it. And so it's not has nothing to do with him being dumb, it's his cerebral palsy. So I had to also explain to him the situation the best I could, which by the way, he loves listening to me talk for the simple fact that I can draw pictures for him in his head by my descriptive ability to be descriptive about things I talk about. So it worked. But we all know the truth. Dwan is 100% the voice of this fucking thing. I might be the attitude. I might even have the ideas, but he was always going to be the voice. So now what I try to do the best I can is I try to train him to take his beautiful voice and pay attention to how I talk and pay attention to how other YouTubers talk. Adopt a way of storytelling and don't be boring. And you know what's happening? It's working. If you look at his lives from the moment he started, even when he started, he was getting better and better. He's becoming more funny, entertaining, engaging. Did you know this man was actually when he first got here, when he had his PlayStation, he was actually falling asleep when he was doing gaming. Yeah, he was a wreck. But me and Dwan work as a team now. And now and for anybody who watches, these ladies here, if anybody comes on here or watches this later that isn't a part of this conversation here right now, that doesn't know, now with the exception of Megan is new, Anna's fairly new, but especially like Denise, Lori, and Anna's becoming this way. This is my team. And by the way, just as a forewarning, anybody who speaks to a member of my team in a sideways manner, just know you're speaking to me. and everybody who knows me doesn't speak to me sideways because they know what they get. They will get my wrath. So you'll treat Anna, you'll treat Denise, you'll treat Lori, and you'll treat my family correctly, or you'll treat yourself badly because it will be a bad decision for you. These women and my friend Dwan, and even my secret friend, as in someone who doesn't get on camera, Sophia, we are all a team here. But me and Dwan had to work on that in 2020. And at first, the thought process was, like I always say, like I say at the end of my videos, if you go all the way to the end, what's the last thing you see? Only a bad plan cannot be changed. I couldn't be so rigid that it was like, this has to happen, and then this has to happen, and then this has to happen. That's rigid. I had to allow for time and leeway. I've never done that. I had never done this before. So everything I do, I have to allow for time that maybe it will take longer than I think. And come to find out, it takes about 10 years to really, really be successful at a YouTube channel. Like really run it as a business. Less than 10 years, but I'm giving it 10 years. Am I at 10 years yet? No, I'm just fine. So long as that is in the green, my analytics. In fact, I'll show you another scene that is useful. Like you guys have seen the scene for my tutorials. So if I press this scene for you, oops, wrong one. Tool, and this is just one of the things I discovered. OBS is one. What else? What's another one? These are all free stuff, by the way. OBS that I discovered. What else? Blender. Do you guys know what Blender is? Now, I haven't even begun to study this stuff. I just know that I'm going to. Blender is also a free place, but Blender is very special. Blender is a group of very smart people who have gotten together and they collaborate with one another. In fact, you can do it. If you know how to do code, I don't. But what it is I will have the ability to, let's say, if I were to take a scan and I were to scan my wall here, okay? So I scan the back with the music notes, okay? I scan that whole thing, just make it look exactly like it, and I put that to the computer. I can create a fake version of that wall, okay? And if I wanted to, I could be talking to you guys like this, just like this, and have that wall behind me explode, and you wouldn't be able to tell the difference. It's pretty cool, right? It's 3D animation. But 3D animation in the sense of non-cartoons. It's for real stuff. So, for example, I could create a scene. I could like videotape the tracking. So, for example, let's say I have me and Lori and Dwan and Sophia and Denise and Anna and Megan. Screw it. Everybody here. So everybody here, we're walking down the street, and I have this and I would videotape this. So I'm videotaping us walking down the street. So we're walking down the street and we're all talking, having a good time, having a conversation, joking around with one another. And all of a sudden, right before our feet appears a treasure chest. I can do that. Or I will be able to do that. I can't do that yet. I haven't done it yet. It's so cool. I can create some really fascinating, cool little things like that where I can have, if I wanted to have a giant anaconda appear before me, I can do that too. It's so cool. It's the video version of Adobe Dimension. Adobe Dimension is for, let's say, product placement. So you see this bottle, right? It says Dr. Pepper on it, okay? I can take the same shaped bottle like this, okay? Take this name off and put N.A.G.214 Gaming on it. And I have advertisement. It's not bad, huh? This is all futuristic stuff. And by the way, that's great for me because that way I don't have to worry about buying products and not selling them and just having a bunch of t-shirts or something. These are all things I've had to figure out the last 4 years from nothing. I didn't know anything like this. I'm the one who has had to read and do the research, and Dwan just doesn't have the attention span a lot of times, and he works on it. So it's been on me. And at first, Sophia was not on board with this. No. It wasn't until January of that year that I began to notice a change in Sophia, that I had convinced her. I had brought her along, that she realized that I wasn't going to quit, that I wasn't just speaking out of my ass, that I wasn't just talking out of Manichae, that I was finally serious about my life. I'm not saying I wasn't serious about changing before that, but I was there, I was focused, you know. And so thus began the N.A.G.214 Gaming. And so I started I already had Tiberius Maximus Agrippa as my main account for Instagram. That was my account for Instagram. And then and so like after the trip to Pikes Peak, I noticed that I was starting to get more people because I was putting on a lot of stuff. See, remember I told you, I hid myself from the world. I didn't get on social media. I was working on myself, okay? So as I come out, I'm putting all these posts about the trip and Pikes Peak and so forth and so on. Well, started to get views, started to get looks at, eyeballs on it. But I decided I'm going to start two more Instagram accounts. And so right now I have 17,000 on N.A.G.214 Gaming, which, by the way, N.A.G.214 Gaming is the newest one. N.A.G.214 Gaming is the newest account that I have. I mean, it's a couple years old now, but it's new. It's the newest one. And there's Tiber Black 214, which has the least amount, about 7,000 or so, 7,000. And then I have my old account that has, it has over 14,000. Okay. I have WhatsApp. I have my main Facebook page, but then I also have 2 pages connected to it. Okay. I do have a TikTok account. I haven't done TikTok videos in a while, but I do have some up there. But I would mainly do that for advertising. Okay. But I have a Twitter account. I have my my website. I have N.A.G.214 with a 1 YouTube channel. I have KFE. When we were coming up for the name for KFE, here's a little story for you. I'm crazy, okay? That's the K. We want to uniquely spell crazy as in K, crazy with the K. And he's fat, okay? So fat, and then entertainment. And that is the more entertaining side of N.A.G.214, but we still discuss real issues. But the gaming thing is how we're going to teach young people how to have patience and not get frustrated. Don't throw your gaming controller across the room and break it like I did 1,000 times. This is how you teach it, okay, to younger people, especially younger people with bipolar disorder and anger issues and things like that. So, because I know they're not just going to listen to me talk, no matter what I say I've been through, okay? But here's the coolest part. I had to figure out a flow. So as me and Dwan are talking, there had to be a flow to this. And I've tweaked it several times, but the flow, it goes like this. I want everybody to come to my website. And I want everybody to come to my YouTube channels, both, all of them, okay? Because there's going to be multiple. There's going to be more than I even have up there now. And how do you do a flow? Well, even though I only ever check Noir J Gaming for Instagram, that particular one, I never checked the other two always get content from Facebook, from different sections of my Facebook accounts. So Facebook itself will share its stuff with Tiberius Maximus Agrippa. So that one gets stuff from my Facebook account, pictures and things, messages, memes, whatever. Tiber Black 214 is connected to Legio 1 Production, I do believe. That's one of the pages. And then, of course, Noir J Gaming is connected to Noir J Gaming. All right? You get what I'm saying? So there's a flow here. So even though so in other words, I made it where I only have to check one account on each one of these things. But the thought process was always, and still is, like I said, it's a slow process, that we had to plan out is, the idea is, and we have 2 channels. Now we're going to have 3 with the Christian version. So there's going to be a Christian version, like a bipolar perspective, the other channel, the third one, okay, YouTube channel, only has, is going to be changed in name, philosophy, concept. It's going to be very close to N.A.G.214, except for one difference. It's not just going to be a copy and paste job. I'm going to do, like, let's say this week I put up a video on YouTube. Let's just say I put up a video on mania. How to deal with mania, how to deal with sleeplessness as a person. I'll do the video for N.A.G.214. Then I will do the video again, but I will then do it from a Christian perspective. Exact same concepts, but then for Christians, okay, that continually think that I'm making stuff up out of my head. I'm not. But I'm starting to realize that there's some Christians out there that refuse to read a book outside of the Bible. And they don't know anything about the world either. And so, if it doesn't come from the Bible, it's not wisdom. I mean, that's the way it sounds like. And that's kind of what it sounds like to normal folk. But it is true that I should show where I get my concepts from. I do not ever want you guys or anyone that's ever going to watch my stuff to think that I'm such a genius that I came up with an entire way to fix people. No. So I will show through scripture to Christians and ease their little minds to show that, yes, actually the ingredients are taught by Jesus, and so are the steps. Didn't come up with the concept. So when I talk about finding happiness, it's not Daryl's position to tell you how to find happiness. It's God's. Or the idea of life is fleeting. What a brilliant line. Or it could be I just got that literally from the Bible. Literally that phrase, life is fleeting, It's from the Bible. And if you read your Bible, you'd know that. But I digress. Then there's going to be an educational channel, which I have not begun to create. That educational channel is going to talk about things like history and showing how learning history of the world and science, those sorts of things, is going to help you become debate against people who try to persuade you and dissuade you from God and from your position in the first place. Think about what's going on in this country. Politicians are lying through their teeth right now. How do you know the truth? Well, you have to look that up. You have to find that out. You have to know how to give those arguments. You can't just stand there and look at a person and go, huh? So, for example, if and I've had this happen actually. So if an atheist comes up to me and says, well, Daryl, you keep talking about knowing you're not alone. Well, what if you're alone? That's when I stand up and say to them, well, first, if you're a person that does not believe in God, I can see how you believe that, right? God, man, freaking allergies, man. If you're a person that does not believe in God, I can see how you would look at it like that, right? But if you're a Christian, even if you actually are alone, you aren't alone. And knowing that truth makes all the difference in the world. And to an atheist, it's a little hard to explain that. Because, to be honest with you, it's true that if you're an atheist, it's harder to change your life sometimes, especially if you've done bad things, because you're an atheist. You don't believe that there's a God. So there is a such thing as being alone for them. Does that mean the ingredients and steps don't work for people that are atheists? No. But I can know this much. I know that there's been so many times that I thought I was alone, when in reality I was not. That I just wasn't paying attention, and that's kind of how I get over that. That's how I kind of get through that with somebody like that, to let them know that I bet you there's stuff you don't notice about your own life. Okay, if you don't want to believe in God, I don't agree with you. It makes it a little more difficult, and yes, I can see how you would feel lonely. And to be absolutely frank with you, and I know there's a lot of atheists on this planet right now that might shut this YouTube video off right now as soon as I say this. If you feel like you're alone and you still can't come to your God, I'm going to be honest with you. It's not really Anna's or Megan's or mine's, Denise's or Sophia's or Dwan's or Lori's fault. How is that our fault that you have chosen to reject the Almighty God? I really shouldn't care. But since I do, and since I said that N.A.G.214 is not a Christian website, I had to figure that part out. How do I tell a person that they're not alone when in reality they feel like they're alone because they don't want to believe in their God? The quick fix is they need to start studying, and you need to start studying the Bible with them so that they know that there's a God, so they won't say that. But people still have choice, guys. People still have choice. And to be frank with you, just because a person acts like a dillweed about your God doesn't mean you should abandon it. And I won't. I mean, you can if you so choose. But I can't. So there is a workaround. In this case, if you don't want to believe in your God so badly, then I'll go to the secondary thing. We're human beings, and we miss stuff. We miss stuff when we're walking down the street. We miss stuff when we're in a room full of people. There might be someone giving you advice right now that you're just, maybe you can't tolerate them, or maybe you can't stand that they look like a gerbil. That's right, Denise. That's right. I can't help it, guys, okay? If you've ever met Denise, you'd understand she does actually have the resemblance of a tiny, tiny, small creature. I'm just saying. Sorry. My bad. Was that instead of racism, is that gerbilism? No, anyway. But seriously, I have to learn how to come at everybody from their position. There's a reason why maybe this person doesn't believe in God. Maybe it's because I love it when she puts that tiny little picture. Maybe it's because they had a problem earlier in their life, like me. I tried to claim to be an atheist once. So be understanding of them and where they come from. Don't be prejudiced against them just because they're not exactly what you want to be. So I just wanted to finish up the story from last night, just finish up the lessons that I really wanted you to learn, that now I do these things daily, and I always am getting better and researching and things like that. But the second part of this live I wanted to do is get you guys started for the week. It's Sunday. Okay, you guys had your weekend. I think I'll get paid tomorrow, so I'll put that money, the money that I saved for that Roth IRA, that'll go in there tomorrow. And I want you guys to start your week out like this. Always carry your ingredients. Want to, venting, taking advice, no distractions, and knowing you're not alone every day. Take it every day. Do it. Carry it with you. You never know at work when you may end up using something. Okay? And I would say this. If you work one of those jobs that's very difficult. Now I know that Megan, for example, is in the hospital, so she's got maybe a long week ahead of her. Don't look at it like that. Don't look at it like that. That makes the week longer, not shorter. Perspective. There's a reason why it's called a bipolar perspective. It's not your perspective, it's Daryl's. Right? So I just try to give you guys some wisdom about how does Daryl get through his week. Well, I'll give you a hint. It's hard. Mondays suck for me sometimes. But I will, as I always, get through everything. But how do I do it? I do it through the ingredients and steps. I'm always making sure I'm using my steps in this way of, even though I've cleaned my house as far as the bad stuff and stuff from the past, and I talk about it clearly on here. But every day, just like a house, you have to still clean your house. Every day. Always defrag when you get out of work. Vent that stuff out. So I would suggest to you, if you get in a bad situation, I know that most of you talk to me, and you guys talk to me just in case so that I'm here to talk to you about maybe something that's going on. But what if I'm busy? In other words, what if I'm busy? That way you God, I completely just lost my train of thought. Yeah, I don't agree with you, Lori. So we'll have a conversation outside. You don't have to agree to disagree. Feeling alone isn't a feeling, actually. It's actually it's more than that. It's a way you act. It's a way you feel, or it's a way you are, and the way you respond to situations. It's it's more than that feeling of being by myself. And by the way, being used to being by yourself doesn't mean you're not. If do you understand what I'm trying to say? Like that's not what that is. But anyway, I digress. So what if I'm not available? Well, you have to learn how to get through situations. Okay. You have to learn how to do it in a logical manner. You can't panic. All right, and that takes time for some people. So what I would suggest before you start this week is always do these things. All right. All right. Always knowing who you are is the key to this. As you work on yourself, okay, along this path, starting this week, start working on things that you know people have said, okay, you really got to change this about yourself, all right, and work on those things. And there are signs that you need to. There are signs that you need to work on things about yourself. Maybe something that people have said to you over and over again. You know, if you're one of those people that's socially awkward, right? That you don't know how to act in a social situation. That's not a normal thing, nor is that healthy. All right. When you're not able to react to people, and you're not able to hang out with people, and be a normal human being, that's not being shy. That's being abnormal. There's a reason why God said it's not good for man to be alone. So for a person to be alone in their own house, for example, it's not normal. It's not a normal thing. Nor is it an acceptable thing. Enjoying life, and this is something took a long time for me to get. Something that was a scary thing for me. When you enjoy life through marijuana smoking, and you're high, or you're drunk all the time, I wasn't raised around alcohol. My mom and dad had fun all the time. All the time. I don't understand, and I hear it on the radio all the time. And I hear with these commercials and stuff like that. That, I want to have a good time. Let's go to the game. I want to have a good time. Go get the beer. I didn't have access to alcohol after I left the house. I was a miserable human being without alcohol. And the reason why is because I couldn't deal with life. Marijuana and drug addictions and alcoholism doesn't add to your life. It destroys it. I mean, even now, because I can't walk very well, I miss being able to walk to the store. The walks are very difficult. I miss it. So as much as I love the fact that Sophia and I can get in the car that Lori let us borrow and go somewhere, I miss walking. There's something about using your 2 feet to go down to a store and just you listen to music and you're thinking about your life, you think about what you're going to be doing that day. I miss it, but I'm not getting that right now. It's a weird adjustment for me. I'll tell you another weird adjustment for me is realizing in my life when I was stopping drinking, one thing I was so afraid of is I wasn't going to be able to have fun without it. That I was going to I couldn't find excitement and fun without the feeling of liquor in my system. There is no scientific proof at all that alcohol and drugs relaxes you at all. It fucks you up. Ask any doctor. Ask any doctor. Not a nurse, a doctor. I don't like Sophia's father. If you choose to do those things, cool. But I really hate people who smoke marijuana, for example. They will look me dead-faced in the eye and tell me, cigarette's bad for you. That's why I do not recommend it to you guys. Cigarette is bad for me. I would never justify my cigarette smoking saying that, oh, well, I need it to relax. No, I do need it to relax because I'm effing addicted to it. When you can't live your life without it, when your choice is because I know people like this. They would justify it. No, they justify with almost. They justify stuff almost to a contempt of the person talking to them. Like, how dare you call my drinking out? How dare you call my smoking weed out? How dare you? Mind your business. That's usually the end of the argument there. When a person does that to you, you won. Time to walk away. That's one of the things about, remember I said about critical thinking? When a person starts going to name calling and they start going to where there's, in other words, when they start going to name calling and they're not coming back with an argument, or they start saying things like, what's my body, it's my life. You won, just sit on that laurel. But you're not going to change them. When they start doing that kind of thing, and start quoting the Constitution, talking about, you're not going to convince them. But remember that doesn't mean you were wrong. It means they were wrong. It means they don't want to hear it. They have nothing actually physically to say. Yes, Denise. Is that your cold face? I had to figure things out, and I went through alcohol treatment. I did all these things, but I know that in the end, I had to figure it out. A lot of it had to do with my emotional problems that I couldn't deal with. But even like just, remember I told you guys I was playing video games, right? I couldn't play my video games without liquor. Because I truly, I'm sitting there on my thing playing the game. I couldn't do it without it. So when I first got here, in 2008, and then 2009, when I got out of jail, the first time, that was when they had originally arrested, or when they originally got me and charged me, they convicted me basically. I couldn't get online. It's funny that only now that I don't drink like I used to. Did I say I don't drink? No. Sometimes I have to drink because there's no pain medication. But I'm definitely not doing it because I don't enjoy life. I loathe the way liquor makes me feel. I loathe the way it tastes. It doesn't relax me. It doesn't. It's euphoria. It's the euphoria. It's fucking with your head. Don't believe the lies. Liquor don't do nothing but mess your whole body up. Don't do nothing. There's no physical purpose to it. Think about your drinking. Even if you're drinking wine, you're drinking rotten substance. That's how come Noah got drunk. fermented anything. You have to make alcohol, or it happens a lot with wine. It's what happened with Noah. If you don't pick the grapes on a vine, they can become freaking little liquor balls. There's not a single spot in the Bible, not a single spot, that looks at alcoholism and getting high as being a glorious thing. Not a single spot. You cannot claim righteousness in God's eyes when you're seeing 5 different people. You know? That makes sense? Not a single righteous thing said about alcohol. Not a single thing. The only thing that you could even say that's even close to what a righteous word to what that God would say was when Paul recommended liquor to Timothy to ailment with the stomach. But so long as, and it's something I used to justify with Sophia. I used to tell her, well, God said, and because I know so much about the Bible, it's so easy for me to manipulate Scripture. Well, God told Paul to tell Timothy to drink some liquor with his water. So therefore, it's as long as it's for medicinal purpose, liquor is fine. No, it's not. No, it's not. That's not what that verse. That verse does not tell you it's okay to be an alcoholic. God doesn't give you permission to get your ass loaded. I used to tell it to Sophia all the time. What he was saying to Timothy is, don't be ashamed that Timothy was in a lot of pain as far as his stomach was concerned. And during that time, people went on wooden ships. Okay? And so when I mean that it was for medicinal purposes, it literally was for medicinal purposes. That water that they were drinking was freaking rotten. They're putting a little bit of alcohol in it, sterilized the water. He was drinking rotten water. He could have died from that even. Stomach ailments. H. pylori. Why are you always coming out through my live, man? What a wiener. She knows what times my lives are, and she that is a lot of effing doors, dude. Anyway, so that's not what that verse is talking about. All right? I hate people come home from work. I need to relax after work. There are about 1,000 ways you can relax after work. Why you got to give us? Just say it like you want. You like to drink and you like to be high. Why do people have to hide behind excuses for the things? Be truthful. It's okay. This world don't give a crap anymore anyway. I don't get it, man. It's something that I learned when I went to detox quite a few times. That one of the questions they ask you on that test to find out if you're an alcoholic is, how many times have you lied to someone? It's one of the questions. How many times have you lied to someone about the amount you drink? So, for example, what I used to do is someone would ask me, this is what a lot of alcoholics do. Someone asked me, so Daryl, how much you drinking now? I would say, I drank 2 beers. 12. I drank 4 beers. 18. Why? Because I'm being truthful that I am drinking. I am not being truthful about someone that's going to get their ass knocked out behind a freaking thing here. My God, man. She thinks it's funny. It's just like, I just got done with severe stomach pain, and I don't really want it again. I'm about to knock that little turtle right off the freaking chair. Why are you so dumb? That's right, Denise. Doing Pilates is relaxing. Do exercise is relaxing. Playing video games is relaxing. God, you can't even imagine the excuses I used to get to drink. Ain't that right, Sophia? Sophia's in here right now. Hey.
That's right, Snowflake.
Hey, did you hear what she said? She said, that's right, Snowflake. Sophia, tell him how many excuses I used to give.
Too many to count.
Okay? It's like my friend Will. One of the reasons why you guys probably will never meet Will is he does not agree with my viewpoint on drinking. He tells me, well, everybody has their way of solving their own pain, Daryl. That's true. Tramadol works. Gabapentin works. There's even alternative medicines if you're not into opiates. All sorts of things. And the idea that somehow because I can tell you, I was like this. That somehow because I don't like the way it makes you feel. Well, you are inducing a drug into your system. So yeah, I would say alcohol is disgusting tasting, yet I drink it. You just kind of suck it up. At least you're not wrong with God. Just saying. I'm not saying, like myself, I get in a lot of pain. Even myself. I do everything possible to make sure that I do anything but drink. But there are some times I've had to borrow liquor from Lori. And it's awful. It is those desperate times that matter. And I don't think that's ever going to get better, that there are going to be some times after I've ran through it, after I've gotten through every solution I can imagine, that I'm going to end up having to go buy a little bottle of something. Am I ashamed of that? Well, yeah. And do you know what it's like for me to drink right now, y'all? This is what it's like. When I have to go get something from Lori, or Sophia gets me something, this is what... Hey, Sophia, we'll have a smoke as soon as I'm done with my live, you weenie. Hi. This is my turtle. Sophia gave me this turtle when I was dying in the hospital. This is my sicky turtle. Anyway, what? Anyway, so, but do y'all understand what I'm saying? Part of changing your lives is changing your lives, not giving excuses for why you can't. Can't doesn't exist in my world anymore. Like eventually, and I know most of you probably think I'm probably full of crap on this, I will stop smoking cigarettes. I just hate it when people approach me with it. And my favorite tactic to use on people that approach me with it is just because you said something. That's what I say to people. Just because you said something, I think I'm never going to stop smoking now. It's a nice way of saying be quiet. I know that I need to stop smoking. I'll stop all of it eventually. Isn't that adorable? This is my little sicky turtle. This is Sophia named this Papa Turtle. See, there's Papa Turtle, and there's Mama Turtle. Hi. And then up here on the wall is little Denise. And then I think there's another turtle that we have somewhere. We had another turtle that was Amanda Turtle. But Amanda is also Amanda Panda too. So, but anyway. So Denise, it's up there. I'm not getting it down for you. You don't get to be on the camera today. But anyway, I'm gonna let you guys go. I just wanted you guys to think about this week. Changing your life is not an easy thing. And you have to learn how to do it without inducing your own drug addictions. Okay, try to do it without going through what I call the doldrums of a week. Try to learn. Try to expand your knowledge. Try not to be so closed-minded about new knowledge. That's what we do here. That's what everybody here, I would say, with the exception of Megan, only because she's literally brand new, and virtually none of you guys know who Megan is. She's one of the new people I met. Megan is in the hospital right now. She's sitting in a hospital right now. She's had issues, and the simple fact that we have these conversations like this, she's watching. Do you see? Now you're having an impact. I will not lie to other human beings just to make you feel better. You understand? Y'all ought to understand that. So we all work as a team here. So we try to get through the week together, right? So think about that this week. That tomorrow you're going to wake up and maybe it's a Monday. Maybe you have the Mondays and all that stuff. That's okay. I do every Monday. But I'm going to get off here. I'm going to work. So, hope everybody had a great weekend. Oh, hey, I got to tell y'all something crazy. You know how I was talking about that car accident yesterday? Today, this morning, when we went to the Valero, there was a 4-car accident right there at Valero. Again, second day in a row. Wow, right? That's crazy. Anyway, so be safe when you're traveling. Like I said, be safe when you get there. You never know what's going to happen. Be understanding of one another, not just from your perspective, but from theirs. Understand that life is fleeting. You're not promised your next breath. You're not. So take now to change your things about yourself, to learn things about yourself, to learn and add to your arsenal of different things, of different information and different things you're doing, right? It's Sunday. I hope you guys have a wonderful week. Remember, life is fleeting. You're not promised your next breath. You're just not. So learn everything you can learn, right? Oh, one more thing. Be understanding of yourself. Just because you can't give $1 now doesn't mean that doesn't mean you're a bad person, right? Doesn't mean you're a bad person. And so think about that. Or if you can't sit with somebody. But until tomorrow, may the Lord light guide you in all things. Goodbye.